So first things first, just to get going, hands on the floor in front of you and just leaning back. Just stretching the lats out and the upper back. And staying in this position with your hands forwards, you're then going to put your left hand over the top of your right hand. So just going to bring a bigger stretch onto that left lat. And then popping your left hand back where it was, and then right hand over the top of your left. Good, and popping your hand back again. And then just drive your hips forward into the mat. Just stretching your lower back. And staying in this position, just lift your right knee up. So you should get a bit more of a stretch on that left hip flexor. And switch sides. Back again. Okay, so what you'll do now, big stride forward, so you're just in that deep lunge position and just reaching up with the hand, with the legs backwards, just reaching up and just slightly across the top of your head. Should just get a good stretch down your oblique and your hip flexor as well. Switching sides, reach up, coming over the top a little bit. Good, and just coming up onto your feet. Okay, so this time you're going to bend down, did them the other day. Bum comes up first, and then standing up. Just go nice and slow, nice and steady. Get a good stretch in them hamstrings, wake everything up. Stretching down, pull through. Couple more. Last one. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do now, starting in a standing position, you're going to walk your hands out into a press-up position as best you can. So coming out, getting a bit of a stretch on them hamstrings, big stride forward with one of the legs. The leg that's come forward, that hand is then going to open up. So it's 3 separate movements after you walk back, coming up, walking forwards, big stride forward, hand comes up. Switching sides again. Walking forward, big stride forward, open up to the top. And last one. Good. Okay, laying on your backs this time. Okay, so one leg is going to be flat to the floor. The other leg is going to come up, trying to get your foot sort of parallel to the ceiling. You're going to reach up and then come back down again. So heel scrapes across the floor, coming up, coming down. So really waking them hamstrings up in that sort of stride motion. Good, swap legs. Good. Okay, next one. Once again, we did this one the other day. So it's a pigeon stretch. So basically, one leg is going to be as straight as possible across the front. One leg's out the back, straight, like so. And we're just going to switch it. So we're going to hold for 2-3 seconds. Switch. Back in there. Switch. We're going to do this a few times on each leg. Waking up the glutes, then muscles around the hips. Last one. Good. So we're just going to get into a little bit of sort of stuff that's going to wake up them muscles now. So first things first, we'll start with the calves. So in like a sort of start position, and you're just going to press your calves out one at a time. Getting a bit of movement in that ankle, a bit of heat in them calves to start with. Staying in this position, you're then going to pump them knees up into a bit of a nice steady mountain climber, not too heavy. And staying in that position again, shoulder taps. So just tap each shoulder. Wake that core up a bit. Get them shoulders moving. And that'll do. Okay, like I said the other day, if you want to grab your water bottle and just pop it down by the side of you, that's great, just so it's in arm's reach, so you can take a sip whenever you need to. So what we're going to do first, we're going to do some level of movement sprint drills to start with, so stuff that we do right down at the track. Then we'll get into the sort of Pilates side of things. So what you're going to do to start with is the first initial movement is just going to be dead simple marching. We did this the other day, coming up, toe to shin in that dorsiflexion position, and then just swap legs. So get them arms going as well. Try and sort of stay as tall, weight over your hips as you can. So just coming up, nice and steady. Get that sort of ground contact as well, hitting the floor with that front portion of the foot. Couple more. And good. Shake it off. Okay, this time what we're going to go for is a similar thing, but actually we'll start with a quad stretch and a hamstring stretch to start with. So grab the foot, handle, and then switch. Whoop. Try not to fall over. Couple more. Cool. All right, next one is just that sort of rolling, walking hamstring one, but we're just going to do it statically. So in there, roll, roll. I don't know if it was you, Joe. Someone may have told me once to feed the chickens. One of them athletics coaches, one of them oddballs. Just a couple more each side. Good, happy days. Okay, so next one is going to be an A skip. So basically, just hopping one foot to the other, getting them hands right, pocket to sockets. We know what we're doing. Off you go. Three seconds, 2, 1, and have a little rest. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Same again, just on the spot. Get them good foot contacts. And time. Okay, this time we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it with a double. So once again, as I said the other day, a bit of coordination. So it'll be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, as you go. Okay. So we're ready to go. We're going to go for 10 seconds worth, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Should be able to hear that foot hitting the floor. 2, 1, and time. Going to go for one more set of that. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Make sure you're getting that toe up towards your chin. That good dorsiflexion position. And a nice high knee. 2, 1, and stop there. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of other little drills today as well, which are focused around foot placement more than anything, and hips, where your hips should be when you're running. I know I used to, for a long time when I was running, I used to stick my bum out a bit too much when you want to be all engaged and sort of tucked in. So there's as much weight going through your hips as possible, because if it's going through your hips, then you can put that weight and power through the ground as well. So what we're going to do to start with is just stepping over the ankles, okay? So I know a lot of you have done this in terms of like holding the pole or if you have got a pole, you can still do it with that. Or if you want to hold a band or anything like that, or a broomstick, everyone's got them at home, and you can practice this in your garden as well with a mop, whatever you want. So first thing you're going to do is make sure your hips are sort of neutral, okay? So don't be like, this is an extreme, but make sure your hips aren't posteriorly out the back, you're tucked under, okay? So in that position, you're then just going to go over the ankles. So you're not doing much with your arms in this position, just stepping over the ankles. 3, 2, 1, and time. So it's just like you're making a little wheel just with the ankles at the minute. So that's your number 1, that's your short one. Then we're going to go for a number 2. So imagine this time you've got a rod coming through each shin, and you want to step over each one so you're not getting caught. So it's just a little bit higher, so it's not a high knee. So off you go. So just a little bit higher. Once again, focus on them hips. Stay as straight as you can. 2, 1, and time. Okay, we've got one more to do, which this time it's going to be a more high knee, so a bit more around the hip, a bit higher. So, ready to go. So it's going to be really sort of use them arms this time as well. We're just focusing on keeping tall through the hips. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. 3, 2, 1, and time. Cool, as I say, if you want to grab a drink, go for it. Just a couple of seconds. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to put all 3 of them movements together. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So building up high, and then 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Or as Joe would like to put it, low, low, mid, high, mid, low. Just to confuse people. Okay, so low ones, mid ones, and we're going to go for about 5 seconds on each one. You ready? So 3, 2, 1, let's go, little ones. Foot contact's good. 2, 1, mid ones, pace shouldn't change. Keep the same pace. And then high. 2, 1, and time. Have a little break, going to do that one more time. So it's all about the foot contacts. Make sure you're hitting the floor, that same portion of your foot each time. Should be able to hear a bit of a smack. Or your mums and dads are probably shouting at you by now if you're upstairs. Okay, last one. 3, 2, 1, little ones. Okay, this time we're going to come down as well, mid ones. So we're going to go big ones, and then we're going to come back down to mid ones. Pace shouldn't change, and then down to little ones. 2, 1, and time. You're right, I did forget to do that on the last one. Have a little rest. Make sure you get a quick drink.